of it, but I also imagine there's a police helicopter high up in the air also monitoring this along with our Sky Fox crew. So they have their eyes on this car even if they don't have it from the ground. So they're very much aware of what's going on, very much aware of the people and making sure everyone is all right around them. But 121 miles an hour now, weaving through all 4 or 5 lanes of this major interstate, I-5 southbound near exit 202 in the North Antelope Valley area.
That's one of the dangers, by the way. When we're heading south and when we're on a downward slope, it is very easy to lose track of how fast you're going, even if you're a regular driver. Given the speeds that we're seeing this person driving, I mean, and I don't know how accurate that was. We just saw it dip into the 140s and 150s, but it's not very hard to accidentally accelerate more than you were hoping for, especially when, and we're getting some reports to indicate that the driver is a woman. We are hearing from our producers, again, and I'll reiterate, just to reset, for anybody that may be joining, this is something that started out as an LAPD pursuit. They are following a reported stolen vehicle. This started in the Santa Clarita area. The suspect was originally on the 14 freeway, then transitioned onto the 5 freeway. Both of those are freeways that traverse the Santa Clarita Valley. We saw them for quite some time heading north on the 5. They went as far up as the Grapevine area, almost to some of those rural Bakersfield communities like Arvin. They got off the freeway, they made a U-turn, and they got right back on the 5 where they're now heading south. They're heading on a downward slope. It is easy to drive incredibly quickly, and it's very easy to pick up speeds when you're on a road like this, especially dangerous when we're talking about these open roads. And there we see, I think, a couple of cop cars behind them there. I'd be interested to see how they try and bring this to an end, if they can. I mean, the pit maneuver, as I've said, that's something that you can utilize when you know for sure that you're not going to be able to harm any innocent bystanders in the region. And when there's all these innocent drivers out on the 5 doing the pit maneuver, spinning this suspect out, that's a tough thing to do. That's a tough thing to do, excuse me. This is a 2024 gray Honda CR-V, and it looked like a last-second decision there to get off of the freeway, and this is an incredibly dangerous situation.
Oh, my goodness, and viewer discretion is advised. Of course, they roll over, and you can see the dust into this underneath that overpass. A scary moment as this stolen vehicle pursuit. You can't see what's going on, but a tough close as it was 100 miles an hour. I don't know how fast they were going at this happening, but there's also a police cruiser underneath this overpass right on the outside. So make sure that you're aware of what's going on. Viewer discretion is advised on this stolen vehicle pursuit that has just come to a dramatic close, a violent close there, weaving off one of these exits, then onto some of the grassy areas, the dirt areas underneath this overpass. And I can only imagine what the damage to this car might be. So
the speedometer had him clocked at 115 at the time of crashing. 115 miles per hour.
That is an outrageous amount of speed, a high rate of speed, and you can see some of the damage. So again, viewer discretion advised. The police are in pursuit. They are right there on hand, but the carnage of this vehicle that hit these cement barriers underneath this car, wow, what an end to this pursuit.
So you got to imagine that
the
police are going to need to approach this suspect with caution. This, of course, is an alarming thing that we just watched, but they're going to treat this, I would imagine, and we'll see how they treat this, dependent on the condition of the suspect.
Yeah, and they also might be getting out, I'm not exactly sure, some
fire extinguisher,
flame retardants, making sure that anything that came out, any gas or fuel leaks on this. But like you mentioned, also need to make sure that they are, police, law enforcement are making sure they keep their distance and approach cautiously in case what's going on with this suspect. So an end to this police pursuit in Southern California, near Los Angeles, north of Los Angeles. This car wrecking there just underneath as well.
And this does now turn to questions about the well-being of the suspect in question here. It does not appear, I'm just going to say that that officer's body language is more relaxed than we would typically see at the ending of these pursuits. Looks like they're searching in the grass. We don't know what they're searching for. We don't know the condition of the suspect. We don't have a direct line into what some of the chatter on the police scanners are saying. Nonetheless, this police chase coming to a really startling ending, as it looked like that vehicle made a last-second decision to get off of the freeway, losing control of the vehicle, driving erratically into the grassy portion just off of the South Interstate 5 freeway in LA County, and now police assessing the damage, assessing the situation.
Yeah.
Notable that their body language is relaxed, and it does not look like they're speaking to anybody. So
yeah, that is a terrifying moment there, and we do want to cue it up for you. We're going to get out of it live just a little bit, but I do want to cue it up in full of this high speed, this stolen vehicle pursuit north of Los Angeles, and I do want to show you this moment as it happened just before it went into this, under this overpass. I slowed it down just a little bit just to give a sense of what's going on, but it was getting off the highway. It did exit very, very abruptly. You can see crossing all of these white lines, yellow lines, going into the dirt, losing control as it exited there on this Ralph's Ranch Road, Quail Lake Road, trying to turn to the left, losing control into the dirt, and then catching the guardrail and rolling under this overpass. That is very difficult to see, and you saw 115 plus miles an hour when this happened there, as police now assessing the damage, assessing what's going on. But that was a replay of what just transpired in this area. As you can see, they pulled out. This is a live picture right now, one more time, a sense of where this is. They have the look on it from the I-5 southbound near this road. So they might be leaving this pursuit, but that was a dramatic, dangerous end to this pursuit. And that's why we say viewer discretion is advised, because some of these pursuits end in this fashion, end in this way. Unfortunately, there weren't other people around it, because that was a very busy highway, a very busy thoroughfare as well.
And that is one small bright point here, is that no other people, from what we could tell, no other innocent vehicles were involved in this collision. We don't know exactly how many people were in the car. I believe we heard reports that the driver is female, and that's about what we do know from reports right now. This was a stolen vehicle suspect. This crash bringing this thing to a close, and the officers on scene now doing their best to assess what happened. I'll just speak again from experience. The relaxed body posture of the officers would indicate to me that they are just going to begin to perhaps, they're going to start looking at that car. They're going to start trying to figure out exactly who was driving it and exactly what happened in the lead up to that devastating crash, Andy.
Yeah, and they closed off that exit there in the southbound portion of this I-5 area to make sure there are no other people going through it. So we're monitoring it here fully in real time on LiveNOW from Fox as this going on, ending in that fashion. All right, let's continue on here on LiveNOW from Fox. We'll potentially hear more on what happened, an update later on. But thank you so much for joining us. Let's sign away for a quick 2-minute break.